This is my day. I'm gonna do things my way. This is my day. I'm gonna do things my way. If you believe it, say yeah. You're gonna make it. Say yeah. If you believe it, say yeah. This is my day.
Come on down. I hate the song. I hate the song. Angelina.
How do you say that? Naughty. Hello, everybody. We love you so much. Welcome to Tuesday. Alrighty, we're back on your screens. Yeah, rough.
Never touch a woman's hair.
I love it.
Okay, so this is the deal. SABC 3, we're on it. It's 10 o'clock, we're on it. And the four of us are going to give you all of your favorite trending hashtags. We're also on our website, TrendingSA.tv, and on our YouTube channel. Today's Tuesday. More importantly, it is Sharpeville Day. We call it Human Rights Day in South Africa. So I hope you had a really good day off. We are here live. No off day for us, because we're hard workers. So today we have a few woke hashtags, because this is a historically really important day in South Africa. On this remarkable day, I am here with the amazing comrades. He is the thorn amongst the roses. Ntate Shaka Sisulu.
Looks like he's greeting a postman.
Off camera, we call him Zaddy.
Zaddy.
Then, she is the straight shooter, Mekuli Roberts.
Love you, baby. It's all your money. You're not getting it.
And she's a familiar face. She's our family friend. Do you understand that? Everyone has a family friend, right? And she does not want me to call her Oz anything.
Please.
No, I won't. She's standing in for Nina Hasty. Hey, Nina, if you're watching. This is Mpomabo.
I don't know where that came from.
Oh, wait. Here it is.
Yes, hello.
Who are you?
And I'm Babi Moloi.
Mom.
I was answering an imaginary phone. No, I can't speak to you right now. No, I'm on television.
You just reminded me of that movie.
What?
Yes, this was a good movie.
Yes.
What, the one about lunatics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is this?
It's about lunatics.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Human Rights Day, so instead of celebrating our liberation and democracy, I'm sure you've noticed that our timelines have gone like a completely different direction. Outrageous things that are currently taking place all over our country. So we're going to shed light on some of them. I'll start with you, Shaka.
Yeah, the Spur video.
Yeah.
Early in the morning, went viral. You know it went viral because you get it in 4 different WhatsApp groups. And it created quite a stir amongst everyone. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk. We're going to show you the video if you haven't seen it. We're going to show you what people have said about the video. We're going to show you what the establishment where this incident occurred are saying. And then we're going to have our own discussion about how we feel about what that video tells us about what's happening in South Africa today.
All right. I think that it's very interesting how many layers upon layers upon layers there are in that video. If you
It's like
upon first sight, you just see one thing. But if you really think about it, there's so many things. All right, Siskuli, what's on you?
Yeah, we've invited the awesome, what's his name? Undaba Mandela, Unqanqa. It's Human Rights Day. We have invited Undaba Mandela. He'll be chatting with us about his granddad and his legacy and everything else he's been up to since, since yesterday. Share the questions, any questions you have for Undaba. Ask him why he's so handsome, ask him if he's single, and ask him if he'll sit on my lap. Chaka, sound 3.
These are the important cutting-edge questions.
Yes.
Everybody would like to know.
Would you like to sit on Kuli Roberts' lap?
On Siskuli's lap.
Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Shut up, Wena.
What's on your timeline?
That's the important question for me. Like,
Point of order, Saga.
Yeah,
Over to you. You are
and
recognized?
I think I'm going to have to behave because of the guest today. But, speaking of the guests today, there was a whole lot of things that were happening with regards to South African politics and, of course, where Parliament is concerned. Now, Tweeps decided to start their own National Assembly with the hashtag #IfSA Twitter was Parliament. And we'll be looking at some of the ridiculous things that have been said by parliamentarians on social media. We all know that sometimes they can get a little bit crazy, so we'll delve into that.
Absolutely. All right, today being the public holiday that is called Human Rights Day, we are going to look at some of our most beloved and most iconic struggle heroes, our liberation heroes that featured on our timelines earlier in the day. So let us know which of the South African liberation heroes you look up to and you'd like us to induct at some point down the line. Hashtag #TsaOn3. So when we come back, we get straight into the trends coming to you today and a whole lot more. Get the conversation started on a Tuesday on our social media pages. #TsaOn3, TrendingSA on 3 on Twitter, TrendingSA on Facebook and Instagram. Oh, I love the song.
Undaba Mandela is going to sit on this left here.
This is my day. This is my day.
I miss her so much. All of our throwback lit jams here on, I nearly said the radio station that I work for. But in fact, it is Trending SA on SABC3. We love our jobs. All right, so let's get straight into our timelines today. Shaka, what's trending for you?
The water in this thing smells bad. It's
How?
in my tea.
How?
It's like I'm at Spur. Anyway,
How?
talking about what happened at Spur, there was this particular video that came out this morning, okay? A lot of us have seen it. If you haven't, I'm going to show it to you. There is an altercation between a man and a woman. Of course, this being South Africa, we cannot see it out of the context of a white man and a black woman. Take a look at this video.
Look your job. Look at your child size. Hitting against the head.
Excuse me?
Yes.
The child is so tiny.
Hey, I'm
Look
looking
at
through
your
the window
Look
and
here.
she's hitting my
Look
child
here.
against the head.
Look here. You won't come here and be a bully. Just be
Is that so?
You can't come here and be
Is
a
that
bully.
so?
Such a big man being a bully.
I'm telling you
Just
to do
back off,
something.
Just back off. I won't do anything.
Ke mo tlogele ba tla thusa ba mo spare.
Who the hell is this?
What an animal.
All right, since that incident happened, Spur has banned the man from all of their eateries across the country. As if there's anyone who goes to Spur that regularly.
Some of us do, we got kids, or we did.
Anyway, I want to show you the statement, that really strong statement that denounces this. Dear concerned customers, we've updated this note. The gentleman in the video is not welcome at any Spur restaurant nationally. We don't condone any forms of violence against women or children, irrespective of the circumstances.
What?
They should have added, we won't help you either unless it's a birthday song that we have to sing.
Yeah. All right.
But even then, didn't that come after they called him a gentleman to begin off with?
Exactly. What is that, calling him a gentleman? You
Yeah.
might as well
So
call
there's
him.
little caveats
So,
at the back, like no matter what the
Despite
circumstances. What?
Because it basically says it implies and suggests that the man was provoked.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Because he's a gentleman.
That somehow it wasn't his fault.
No.
All right. Okay. Anyway, I want to get into showing you what CSI Twitter has done. Because, you know, FBI files Twitter. CSI Twitter, always on the case. Check it out. Bamfumene, CSI Twitter has found the Spur stupid man. And his name, he's got some strange name. What is? I saw his name earlier. Lloyd. Yeah.
Okay.
There's, we've blurred out the name. Our producers have blurred out the name.
Aren't there more
I'm gonna read it
tweets?
out loud for you. Okay, and listen, let's look at what the tweets
Sure.
said, and then let's talk about what we're seeing. Okay, here's what South Africa Online said. Thank you very much to this black woman for teaching kids never, ever to feel inferior in the presence of a white man at a very young age at Spur. That's Dwayne. This all because of you, Madam Zilla. You kept on promoting white supremacy by defending apartheid. So Sanele Sano does the honorable thing in South Africa. He passes the buck and blames someone. So Spur staff can all gather around to sing a stupid birthday song, but they can't stop a fight. Someone should be fired. Marvin Charles says, Spurman madness. Civil rights movement held classes to overcome fear during violent racist attacks. This is important psychological work for black people, says Ngabagazi.
It's true, though. It's true.
It's very important.
It's very, very important.
I've always actually said that.
It's
that,
very
that
important.
In that transition, there needed to be a lot of re-education.
Of re-socialization.
Of the way that our parents teach us what blackness is.
Mm.
And then, of course, white people, we all need to have lessons. We need to learn each other.
But is the problem not the fact that we as black people have forgotten what blackness is? A whole lot of us don't even know what
But it's
the
been
essence of our
systematically
blackness
erased.
is. Exactly. So how do you then teach a black child what blackness is when you yourself don't know what it is?
Well, you definitely, what you do is you don't cower. I mean, we were
That
talking
is
on
true.
about the fact, like, when do you cower? Because we've all experienced those. I have, you have. We've all experienced, like, some hideous man in front of you screaming. What do? Do you cower with all these children that you have to teach?
Yeah.
Not to do that.
Not to do that? What do you do?
I mean,
But also the other, sorry, Shaga. The other thing, Marvin tweeted, Uguti, the black staff were all just waiting around. It's not necessarily
Even
that
the
they were
white staff?
waiting. It's not necessarily that they were waiting around. Hashtag salary.
Mm.
At the end of the day, if you get involved, you risk losing your job.
So Spur says that, here's what they say, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Right? Spur says that the staff of Spur were busy with the customers that were leaving because of the fracas. All right?
Busy how?
They were leaving. They were busy. They were placating
ushering them out.
No. I think they were tending to them.
Yes.
So maybe they were getting the bills. They were getting the bills of people that were leaving because of this incident. But obviously they couldn't intervene decisively.
Of course they could
Spur
have.
Hasn't given us any
Assurance.
No, they haven't given us a good reason as to why the manager, for example, didn't intercede, or or why it is that the staff felt so afraid to intervene and actually stop the altercation. But the thing that it brought to me is that there's so many layers to this thing, and when you unpack it, it's like an onion, right? As you undo all the layers, it begins to make you cry. Because on the one level, if that had been a white woman, do you think...
With a black man or with a white man?
With a white man? Do you think it would have been different?
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been different if it had been a black man shouting at a black woman and threatening, intimidating her? And
I think that would have raised as much attention. Because we're looking at these black men who are not seeing, if it was a black man.
Yeah.
Okay, if it was a black man and a white woman, that guy would be like on some island somewhere.
Yeah.
Fine. If it was a black woman, black man, it would have still had attention because what is this black man acting like such a savage? Why are you acting like an animal? You are shaking tables.
So that would have been more about gender violence.
It would be about gender violence. Yes.
So there is a huge element here of gender violence.
Yes.
And the intimidation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So apparently what happened is that their kids were fighting on the playground.
Kids fight all the time.
All the time.
I mean, also, that's another problem. How is it that they're beating each other up? The kids are beating each other
Kids
up.
fight all
then
the
he
time.
comes in and complains or whatever, as he says about this.
So are you saying maybe another layer is the kids are fighting because, I mean, look at his behavior in front of his children. Maybe fighting is something he's exposed to.
Oh, no,
Even
completely.
his wife.
You see the wife cowering away.
Yes. And later on, the wife pulls him away, right? But that's when he's leaving. But there's a time that he turns away from the black woman because now she has shamed him and called him a bully and all of that.
Yes.
He turns away from her, walks out the door. Then something hits him in his mind. Maybe the steroids are kicking in. He turns around and he wants to go back at her. And that's when his wife taps him on the arm gently. So it's almost like she's also afraid.
Of course, she's petrified.
The violence that this guy is potentially
Even the little
portraying.
child, his own daughter was more petrified of what he was doing than whatever had happened.
But here's another element.
Yeah.
Then there was also the black woman who
Yes.
was saying, no, leave.
No, yeah.
The staff will take care of it.
Can you
That's
believe
another
it?
element.
And
As
her
a
man.
woman.
Her man,
Her man
yes,
also. Her
wanted
man
to get
cowers and waits till later.
Yeah.
All right.
He wanted to get up.
Yes.
But then she
The wife.
said, "Eh,
Yeah.
usake nadi taba
Yes.
tsa bona."
Yeah.
Hona le motho from Spare, what la thusang? Do, la, la.
But you know
But he
what?
eventually did. He eventually did.
When you
But I
realized
also
that no
wanna
one
say-
else was coming.
Yes,
to
but I also
raise
want to say, like, you do have to gauge a situation, eh?
Yes,
You can't just
yes.
be jumping in there like,
Why
hey,
not?
hero. No,
Why
I
not?
don't.
What? Because
Remember, guys, like, there was the guy and the guy.
No, but
like,
that guy was a small guy.
no.
That guy was a small man. He was a small. But-
in all honesty, had he jumped in, like Papi said, he jumps in, he gets beaten up.
Yeah.
We are the ones going to turn around and say, "But we answer."
No, we would have understood. But here's
No, we
actually,
would not.
there's two things that I want to end this thing off on, right?
Yeah.
This discussion on, right? I noticed that he is with his kid and his wife, right? There's a family unit, even though it seems dysfunctional because she can't intercede.
Yeah.
She is alone. There is no black man for her.
Yeah.
Right?
There's no man for her.
There is no man for her. And then also, as he's intimidating her, at some stage she rises and then she gesticulates and she makes these motions, almost like she's crying for help, even though she's standing her ground.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like a microcosm of what South Africa is today.
yeah.
So you have
Absolutely.
black women under attack, crying out for attention, but they're doing it in a way where they're fighting back, standing their ground. We see this on Twitter all the time, right? And this angry white man, that on the one side he's ashamed, but the other he's angry. But we don't even understand, why is he so angry? Why are you mad, dog? Why
are you mad, though?
And it's almost like he's mad because suddenly the woman he sees as his maid is standing up to him.
Yep.
And he can't tell her, just shut up and get back to your quarters.
And for that, I think you always do stand up. You stand up and you say, "Don't bully me."
And you have to.
You can't talk to me like
This
that.
woman,
Who do you think
this
you are?
woman is the hero.
I love
she is.
it.
Regardless of the racial dynamics,
absolutely.
this woman is the hero.
And the
Because
thing
she
is,
did not let this man...
and you would have done exactly the same thing.
I would have done the
We
same.
would have done exactly the same thing.
I have done the same
Exactly.
thing.
And I would have told my woman that's recording, just put that thing away, man, and let's stop this guy, man.
Just eat your schnitzel and calm down.
Now think about this. The woman that was recording apparently gave the woman, the woman that stood her ground, the video, right?
Oh, so she was assisting in a way.
How do you assist when it's time for your man to jump in
doing
and
nothing.
sing? You're like, hey!
Yeah.
We're helping, but not helping so
No,
much.
but you said she
and
was,
fan.
she was fearing for her own man's life.
Listen, I'd love to know what your opinions are as well. I think it's so interesting.
Multi-layered.
It's so multi-layered. Big ups to you, the woman. Do we know her name? We don't know her
We
name.
do know her name.
Mabuya, isn't it?
Mabuya, yes.
Okay, cool.
I think we've got her picture as well.
Big ups to you as well. And stand your ground at all times. Because if that was a small white woman, a small Indian woman, whatever it was, stand your ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, domestic violence is a thing. Violence against women is a thing, guys. Stand your ground.
Doesn't matter even if
Join
they
the
think you're a
conversation.
lunatic.
Tsa on 3, at TrendingSA on 3, on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, TrendingSA. We'll see you after the break.
Asizoqhelwa, Baba. Asizoqhelwa. Even if it's qhela in English. Asizoqhelwa.
Mabuya.
Lebukhang, salute nasekhaya. Asizoqhelwa, Baba. Noba siyobikile, asizoqhelwa. Not today, not tomorrow.
This is my day. This is my day.
In my time. Last week.
Definitely in my time.
Oh.
This is my youth, man.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, not me.
Oh.
Okay, it's also by you. And then the back, it's TrendingSA on SABC3 and on our website, TrendingSA.tv. So we were talking about #Spur and the video that emerged a little bit earlier on. And I asked you what your opinions are. At Gifilwe TKD, shout out to you, asking a good question. Can we look at the security videos also to see where this man alleges his child was hit over the head? What was actually happening in that altercation as well? And then CSI Twitter. Sometimes we don't always CSI right. We can sometimes CSI wrong because we showed you what CSI Twitter told us was the profile picture and the name of the guy involved in the incident. But actually it's not. It's this person. So have a look at this person. Bona Girl says, no, they found the wrong man. The one on the right isn't the man in the video. It's the one...
They look like they're brothers.
Other side. Okay. All right, just to clarify that.
I guess that shows us also the danger of this vigilantism culture. Because we're like, yeah, it's that guy, and we're all like, chase after the wrong dude.
Well, that's what happened with the heist with the Lamborghini.
Apparently.
Is it?
But guys, can we still answer the question? How does a policeman... Oh, security
I leave him alone, let him flourish.
A $4 million house and a $5 million car.
Let him flourish.
Move on.
I'm just saying, let's move on.
So in light of today being Human Rights Day in South Africa, it emerged from somewhere, a place in history, Sharpeville Day. So Shaka's going to educate us a little bit.
Teach us, maestro.
Sit at the feet of the wise one.
Yes, my children, gather around. Let me tell you something.
Yes, Daddy.
Actually, I want to talk about the political context of how Sharpeville happened. Sharpeville was meant to be, you see, in the 50s. In 30 seconds, here's actually what happened. The liberation struggle guys who felt, excited by the fact that African countries were beginning to gain their liberation, started saying, we're also going to push towards having freedom. And they became more aggressive in their own tactics. They decided they were going to have a particular march. You know that in the 50s there was this thing called the Defiance Campaign. People offered themselves to be arrested. And the idea was, if they can't arrest us all, it'll break the system, it'll become lawless. Now, only 4 then organized marches across the country to police stations where people would then hand themselves over for arrest because they don't have passes, they've broken the pass law. Which is actually what happened at Sharpeville and in Langa. They approached the police station. Now, at some stage in the day, at about midday, there were about 4,000 to 5,000 people outside this police station. The protesters as well as people onlookers, because the problem with the media, journalists are not able to tell, is this one a protester, is this one just watching? In any event, the police opened fire, hundreds of people were shot upon, 69 of them died, 108 were injured. Some people say that the police were afraid, but some people say that there was also the police saying, when they were shooting these people in the back, they were saying, remember Cato Manor. And what had happened in January of that year, in Cato Manor in Durban, people had gone to a police station, got a hold of a couple of police, beaten them up, killed them, disemboweled them, and the police then were almost extracting revenge against those particular people, right? So this is what happened. Of course, that very same year, because of this, all the liberation movements decided to form their own armed wings, some controversies, and they went into armed struggle. It went into a different phase of this particular struggle. So that's the reason that we had Sharpeville Day. When we had our wonderful, glorious democracy, we decided we're going to talk about this thing, we're going to call it Human Rights Day. We're going to not just talk about the deaths, we're going to talk about the rights, the right to life, the right to protest, and so on and so forth, which are enshrined in the Constitution. Whew, how did I do, 30 seconds?
That was stunning. That was stunning. That was stunning. Yeah. This is why we cannot cower. This is why we cannot cower.
Truth. Exactly.
Abantu are being shot in the back and we're busy cowering in 2017.
So we've got some tweets from social media about Sharpeville Day and Human Rights Day, right?
Yep.
Let's have a look. Do you want to read them?
Utebogo B. Machane says, Tulima Denzele, if all visionaries could form one institution of change, then transformation can surface. Hashtag Human Rights Day. That's Tebogo, nice one. Ulisandro Vela says, Human Rights Day, hashtag little to do with celebration, everything to do with reflection and commemoration. There's nothing happy about hashtag Sharpeville Day. Nice one, babe. That was Ulisandro. Upunyeza Pusha says, at Soul Brother number 3, thanks to our struggle heroes, we're proud you brought to us equality and right that we're experiencing right now. Big up. We salute. Muti says, at Biko Foundation, Fortune Masina. Unfortunately, we never learn anything from history. People killed 34 in Marikana, 100 killed, hashtag at life Mene. True that, Emotifo. Imbo Ngikazi Yesizo says, dear black child, you must never forget 21 March 1960. Today is Sharpeville Day. James says, these two really got mentioned. You will never forget, how do you pronounce it? Zephaniah Motomneng and Jafta Masumela. You abanbetu.
Yeah.
Robert Sobukwe wasn't in Sharpeville. He was actually protesting at the Orlando East police station that very same day. So PAC was doing something to this police station. Not really.
Absolutely. So, result. Going through the whole thing. What? In the whole thing. Somebody steps as an all-sphere hero. The most in induction.
This is said on. A man who walked that Rome. Sihle Lonzi says, hashtag Robert Sobukwe, hashtag Steve Biko voices the party government feared so passionately. That is this madam. Remember hashtag Robert Sobukwe. Minister of the Presidency, but today in history, we remember hashtag Robert Sobukwe, a gallant proponent of non-racialism in South Africa. We cannot cower. You can't be cowering after these people led the way. You can't.
I like that they also referenced Biko.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Because today.
Yes, because we're also inducting him as well, aren't we?
Are we going to do that?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Let's do that. Let's induct Steve Biko.
And those who might not know, why are we inducting Steve Biko? Because
today,
for a lot of people, this is a Robert Sobukwe Day.
Okay.
So why?
The second, Steve Biko was born on the 18th of December 1946. The struggle stalwart was honored today in King Williamstown. Here is what President Jacob had to say. This is why we're inducting Biko. Clip. President Jacob.
To console ourselves, to celebrate our freedom, to remember those who sacrificed supremely. We remembered him this time. We had come to launch his tombstone to remember him. There must be a mark that says, here lies the hero who participated in this country, who led and indeed inspired many young people, who made a point that we should liberate our minds so that we can liberate our country.
The troops also took to Twitter to relay the messages to Steve Biko, Masijongi and Masibukeleni. Tweets is a form, Masifunde.
Khawkhelo Mokwale says, hashtag Steve Biko understood that to attain our freedom, we had to rebel against the notion that we are a problem. That's a quote from Thabo Mbeki. And of course, Vinny Mohau says, to some of us, this day makes us reflect back the life and times of a great thinker, a struggle stalwart of Steve Biko's caliber. And another one's from Mfundisi Touche, saying Robert Sobukwe and Steve Biko remain the only genuine South African heroes of black consciousness amongst a very few. Salute. And the last one from Kweli Mpete, or Kwetli, apologies. Let's honor Steve Biko by honoring his vision about black people. Let's keep Biko alive with his values and ethics. Hashtag black consciousness.
Yeah.
Is black consciousness still alive?
It needs to be reiterated.
Yeah. It'll never die. But, you know, let's listen to what Biko himself had to say.
Yeah.
I've got a clip for you.
Okay.
We believe it is the duty of the vanguard political movement which brings about change to educate people's outlooks. I mean, in the same way that blacks have never lived in a socialist economic system, they've got to learn to live in one. In the same way that they've always lived in a racially divided society, they've got to learn to live in a non-racial society. They've got many things to learn, and all these must be brought to them and explained to the people by the Vanguard movement, which is...
You know, you were asking earlier about how do black people live and all of that. What he's saying is exactly that, you know, there has to be a movement that defines this is how we're going to live. This is what we're about. This is what's important to us. This is what's not important to us. And that's where leadership comes through.
But this is exactly what I keep on saying, that as much as the eradication of apartheid happened, it seems to be a rumor to a lot of people. As much as all that effort that was put in to publicize and to maintain apartheid, that's exactly what should be done to eradicate it, so that these people do not resurface under rocks.
Or rather than eradicate apartheid, to create
re-socialize.
new South Africa
yes.
that we want.
Yes,
Right?
use the same agents, use the church, use the school, the same agents that were meant to enforce apartheid, use exactly the same Landuza institutions.
Long live Sobukwe, long live
propaganda.
Bilo, long live. So on 3, that is our hashtag, and you can tell us who else you'd like us to nominate and induct into our Hall of Fame. When we come back on a Tuesday, Ndaba Mandela's in studio. Stay tuned. We'll see you.
Undaba is sitting on this lap. Shaga. Undaba is sitting on this lap.
This is my day. This is my day.
Oh, yes.
Ow, wow. It's a Tuesday. Today was a public holiday. I hope you had a really relaxed, good time.
Slept.
You didn't puza too much, you know, just relaxation on TrendingSA here on our Human Rights Day, SABC3. Please keep those tweets and comments coming through, man. We love hearing from you. Do not forget to use the hashtag TSA on 3. Okay, yeah, it's time to bring in our guest for tonight's show.
Bring my cousin.
It's not about you, Shaka.
You brought your cousin last week. Bring my cousin.
Why are you so angry with me?
Guys,
You came in the
The legacy of late Nelson Mandela and his footprints will stand for generations to come. Our guest tonight is following in the footsteps of his beloved and iconic grandfather. He's taken the torch and ran with it. He's the co-founder of a non-profit organization called Africa Rising. The vision of his organization is to be a catalyst in creating a new breed of young Africans that will empower themselves to be the forefront of Africa's development. He is a visionary, a global public speaker, and a social entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, Ndaba Mandela! Okay, firstly, let's start at the beginning. You're killing me. Your voice is killing me. Your voice is killing me.
My God, you know what you're doing.
Can I just say Shaka's fan is defecting? Shaka's fan is now Ndaba's fan. What did I say?
Ndaba, is this
We're going to
normal?
keep it in the family.
Is this normal, Ndaba, this reaction from women?
It just depends which country you're in.
Japan or number. I mean, he could have just said, oh, no, it never happens, coolly.
And then there is a lot of connection between your families. Now, the Zulu family, the Mandela family, obviously. Then you moved to Durban growing up, right?
Molloy family, all the families.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know our connection.
Ah, we have a long one.
Really?
How?
But that's a story for another day.
I think so.
It's that
How you
voice.
Man.
Growing up with Granny, where lots of us are Granny's kids. Growing up with your grandmother. Tell us about that.
At Koffenwaba, I mean, it's a very rural town, but I was very, I guess, spoiled and privileged.
Yeah.
And I used to run in to even Gileka Makulu, do Tati chips, Narasheni, and then Baleg and Dentlin, because the shop was right next to our house. So Makulu ke best spoil and best tanda, yabo. Sing about Zululan, yabo.
Oh, Titi. You sure you don't want to sit on the lap? You fine there?
Hey, Pilap.
Okay.
Listen,
You were 11.
He nearly said yes.
Yeah?
He nearly said yes.
Yeah, he did.
I want to talk about, I suppose a lot of people always want to talk about your famous grandfather. Yeah. And you grew up knowing him to be a famous grandfather, right? I mean, everyone knew him, and everyone knew him because of it. Now, the first day that you met him in prison, what was that like?
It blew my mind, to be honest with you. So my parents told me that we're going to see our grandfather in prison. So
How old were you at the time?
90. I was 8 years old.
You were 8?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I had a typical image of concrete bars and, security and, all that. But when we got there, it was a house.
How?
A beautiful house.
This was later on, Shaga.
Victor Verster.
Yeah, he's very young.
I was 8 years old.
He's not your age.
I didn't know it was a political prisoner. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the last stages of negotiation
Yes.
for democracy and emancipation.
I want to talk about that. I mean, there are people that would position in the fact that he'd been separated and put into luxury,
Because they wanted to break him down.
They wanted to break him down.
Of course.
And there are people that go on to say that he may have been broken down and collaborated. What's your view? What do you say to that?
I say that's nonsense. And you also have to substantiate how he was broken down.
Yeah.
And,
So if you make the allegation, you have to...
Yeah, and also it was hardly luxury, Shaka, so calm down. Okay, continue the question, Shaka.
Okay, so then you moved in with your grandfather, clearly because you were troublesome.
No, it was not because I was troublesome.
I mean, the only reason people move in with their grandparents is because they're troublesome.
Nonsense.
That's why I moved in with my grandparents.
Speak for yourself.
I've never been in trouble in my life.
Really? Just, okay.
Hey.
Last of...
I think Shaga wants to spill some family secrets. You're more than welcome.
No.
His family or her family?
Whichever family. Let's. While we're all family.
Can I share some secrets about
what?
No, listen. Talk to me about your life since '93, living in the same house with your granddad.
Well, again, I was living in Soweto, and then I moved into the big house in Houghton.
Yeah.
So it was very different. I was shocked. Drivers, cooks, gardeners, you know, the works. It was very different from me living in the house that's a museum today.
Yeah.
In Velgazi Street. You know?
So you actually went from Emakaya to
Soweto.
To the hood.
Actually, I went from Emakaya to Durban, living with you. From Durban, I went to...
I think Ushaka wanted his name mentioned.
All right, so now you are living with the most famous man in the world at the time, statesman.
But I'm 11 years old. Those things don't matter to me. That's irrelevant to me. I'm moving into a house with Tatomkul. You understand?
But something must have rubbed off, like leadership-wise or his wisdom-wise.
That's not for me to judge.
Okay.
That's for everybody else who I call friends.
Matilda would say like that. Would say that.
Exactly.
That is
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Talking about rubbing.
Yes. Okay. Talking of rubbing, now you have a bachelor's degree majoring in political science and international
political
relations,
science,
right?
Yes.
So no. I want to know. Wait for it.
Be patient. Do the work.
The politics. This was something that was already in the family, but you decided to go study it further. Wasn't it something that had already rubbed off on you within the family?
No, it wasn't such a straight route through that path. So after finishing matric, I actually wanted to study business, but my marks were not that great, so I ended up at RAU, studying psychology. But I was there just to really take a year off. But my parents didn't want a year off because we come from the black side. They don't understand this year off and going to discover yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
You must discover yourself during breaks. Imagine. Imagine. I was out on a weekend.
Who's going to pay for that?
Are you saying you must discover yourself during breaks?
So after psychology, I went to Damlin thinking, hey, let me do business because I come from politics. Let me do business, maths and accounting. Hey, I said, hey, man. So I didn't know now where I was going to go. And then my cousin Dumani said, no, man, try politics.
Yeah.
Then I said, okay, let me try it because I didn't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
So I tried it, went to Takis.
Yeah.
Tried it, and I said, hey, actually, this is cool. I like this.
You enjoyed the politics.
And then I pushed on with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that part of what sparked Africa Rising Foundation?
Not really. You know, what really sparked off Africa Rising was the little travels that I did with the old man.
Yeah.
So you go to Disney World for the first time, and you go...
Florida or Paris? No,
Florida, right? You get to the front of the line, and you're interacting. Hi, how are you? Where are you from? Oh, no, I'm from South Africa. Oh, how big do the lions get? I'm looking at Kirk, I'm like, Aibo. I'm sorry, Chief, I don't work at the zoo. I have no idea. I have no idea how big lions get. I'm not a game ranger, eh?
Yeah.
Ignorance.
And then I went to London. How? The crime is so hectic. I need to come there with security. I said, no, man, security for what? My grandfather's bodyguard. I don't have security. You don't need no security. Then eventually go to New York. Another question is posed. I said, guys, we have to do something about this misconception on Africa.
So the idea is to change the perception of Africa around the world.
Yes.
How do you do that, though, when the world's not reading? Because these people don't read. That's the main problem.
Well, you have to promote a positive image of Africa.
Okay.
But they do listen and they do watch. I mean, some people get to watch this particular talk of yours, this TED Talk.
Which one?
This one.
I've taken the principles that my grandfather has lived as his own, as mine. Foremost among them is to have pride in my African background and to be able to take control of my own destiny. I do not complain that people think of my grandfather when they see me, because I know my destiny is not the same as my grandfather. As same as for you, your destiny is not the same as your parents or your grandparents. We have the power to chop
Cha ningasimenyi xa nithethe lezo zinto uba your destiny is not the same. Ningasimenyi.
Ngoba
Look, people always say things like that, like many afterwards. They're preparing you.
Anyway, Mina, I'm concerned about your voice. You sound just like your grandfather.
It's okay.
Is that like one of those things that you deal with?
You okay?
Why are you sweating?
I know she's sweating. Are you okay,
Why are
baby?
you sweating so much?
We love you, babe. We love you.
Ndaba, do people feel like, you know what, you sound a lot like your grandfather when you're speaking? Is that like one of those things you kind of have to deal with?
I don't have to deal with it. They're just like, oh, you speak like your grandfather. Like, oh my God. You know?
You look like him? You speak like him?
Not so much look like him, but yeah, speak like him. Not speak like him, have the same voice.
You have the same voices.
Yeah.
Does this get you?
You see, and I'm sweating, and I'm sweating. I apologize.
Does this get you girls, though?
I have no idea.
I mean...
Why, like,
I have no
level
idea.
down, can I ask about being a dad? How's fatherhood in your life?
Thank you. That's my friend. That's my friend. That's my friend. That's a friend I have here.
You thought this was going to be easy.
That's my friend.
I've got some tough questions to ask you.
Answer the question, friend.
No, being a dad is probably the most beautiful blessing I've ever had, to be honest with you. I have a beautiful boy, Lawanika. He's 6 years old.
What does that mean?
Lawanika means the uniter of people from different backgrounds.
Wow. Nice.
It is a Zambian name that Nelson gave his son to show his African solidarity. And is named after the Zambian king, King Lawanika, Lozi tribe. And then my daughter is Nima, which is a Swahili name for prosperity.
Oh,
she's 3 years old.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Well, listen, we'll keep watching Africa Rising and the Foundation all over social media and all of the work that you do.
Yeah. You're kind of a deep brother.
Why you say that?
I mean, don't you guys think he's...
I'm just a brother.
I must stop it when I stop talking.
It's just like for the continent. It's very good. All right, so we are going to take a quick break. Thank you very much, Ndaba Mandela. I think you should stay. Do you want to stay for the next segment?
I think you should.
It has been unanimously decided that Ndaba Mandela stay for the next segment. Okay, so chat to us on our social media pages. TrendingSA.
I got you in a babe. I got you.
Facebook and Instagram. We'll be right back.
This is my day. This is my day.
Hey.
You know, we could just do that for the whole hour.
I know, hey?
Might not be the same kind of show. Right, we've come to the end of another fantastic Tuesday on TrendingSA on 3. I know, but we can't talk about human rights. We can't talk about our liberation as a country without talking about struggle songs that played a huge role in the political struggle for independence in South Africa.
In South Africa.
About freedom anthems. We're talking about protest songs. We're talking about that stuff that got people spirited, right? And kept people focused. The folk songs that unified freedom fighters and South Africans struggling under the atrocities of apartheid. So we're going to play a few. Siskuli, do you have one?
They took me to a prison and they beat me. When I cried, they put a baby.
No, I can't watch that scene. Okay.
It's deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shaka?
Yeah?
So you spoke to his grandson and many songs were sung?
You want me to think about all the struggle songs?
Think about them when I'm on.
I mean...
Take your time.
No, I mean, there's so many that come to mind.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, Mpo?
I actually have a whole lot of songs that I can think of, but the one that remains relevant for other equally important struggles the country continues to face, such as Fees Must Fall movement. Here's some of the students singing the Solomon Mahlangu song.
Okay, so we are going to move on now. I think it was a very, 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 like the show covered everything that was brought up today, right? Like the feeling of today on social media, what we're actually going through. I think I really enjoyed today's show.
I did as well.
I hope you did as well. Make sure you catch our repeat tomorrow if you missed any of the beginning of it. Okay, so...
Can't they just catch the repeat in J because they like the show?
The sun will shine out tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bet you bottom.
Listen, he's Ndaba Mandela. This is Shaka Sisulu. I'm Babi Muloy, Poma Boy, and Kuli Roberts. Thank you very much for watching TrendingSA on 3. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye.
Just think about the day that's grey and lonely. I just stick up my chin and grin and say...
This is an arm struggle song.
Tomorrow. This is my day.